Hey everyone. I wasn't able to record a 40-week video because my mom was here, and when she's here I stress out if we're not busy, so we were really busy. And I wasn't able to record during the labor. The contractions were a lot more intense than they were with my daughter. And I was very distracted by them, and I did get the video camera out, and about the time I was gonna turn it on and complain about being miserable and feeling like it was lasting forever, they got a little more intense, and I had to talk to my husband and get in the pool and have a baby. And I had to dig out my camera because I've tried recording the video on YouTube with a webcam a few times now, like 4 times, and it wasn't working, so I had to dig out my video camera, and I found out there wasn't an SD card in it, so I wouldn't have been able to record anything anyway. I probably would have known where the SD card was at the time though, but now I have no idea. I had to steal one from my other camera. So she is here. She was born at 40 weeks and 4 days. Yeah, I was surprised she was a girl. Guess it doesn't matter if my computer goes to sleep now. And me being surprised because I was so, I was like, really, everybody was telling me girl. I only had like 1 or 2 people tell me it was a boy. And I was still pretty determined I was having a boy. I was going to have a peregrine, and that was yeah, didn't happen. And I think I even said that to her, like I was like, oh, welcome peregrine, and then I looked at her and I was like, oh, it's a girl, it's a Gwendolyn. And me being so surprised made my mom like question, and she was like, are you sure? She didn't say it, but she said she wanted to, like, and then she realized how stupid of a question it was. Like, I don't know the difference. So yeah, of the day I went into labor, it was Friday. She woke herself up. Friday was very, well, I don't know how hot it was. I just been hot and miserable, and it's been hot for where we live. So we told my son when we picked him up from school we were going to go in the pool, and he wasn't really excited about that at all. So we pretty much had to drag him out to the pool, and in the pool I was comfortable temperature-wise, but the contractions really picked up at the time, and they were intense, and no position or getting in or out of the water, which was cold. Nothing really helped. After we got out of the pool, we were getting ready to go to my pastor's house for dinner. And my husband's like, do you even want to go? And I was like, oh, we've got plenty of time. I downloaded the app on my phone so I could time them because they were pretty intense and coming kind of regularly. But I was so distracted, I was very distracted. They were pretty intense. It was like, I don't know. It was a lot more intense than my other daughters, the labor with my other daughter. So, like, throughout dinner, I was distracted and I couldn't time them. And then we played a game. The second game my husband has developed and had published, which was pretty exciting. I think they're going to start selling it soon. The other one they're selling it in Europe or something. Yeah, we played the game, which I won. And I was able to time the contractions at the time. And, yeah, I won, even though I was distracted and timing contractions. So after the game, we headed home because they were getting pretty intense. We got the kids ready for bed and put up the pool and called the midwife. And she's like, oh, you can talk through your contractions, so you're probably good for a while. So call me when you think you're going to need me. And so after a while, I kind of decided I would call her when my water broke, because I had like an hour and a half after my water broke till my daughter came, and I knew this midwife lived a lot closer, so she would have the time to get over to our house. I spent time in the pool and in the bathroom and just, I don't know, just time laboring. And then eventually I was like, well, this is getting long. I'm going to need some relax. And nobody was like online to chat with or anything like I did with my daughter. So I got out of the pool and laid down, put a movie in, and tried to sleep through the contractions, which I think I did. We just got a box dropped off like a few seconds ago. I had to sign for it. And it sounds like somebody just dropped another one. So, yeah, I woke up after that. They got, like, really intense. I couldn't relax between them. So I went to the bathroom, and I told my husband to call or text the midwife, and then he and I were talking about it. We're like, when my water breaks, there's not going to be time. There's going to be a baby. So I was like, okay. So he was going into the bathroom. I was like, well, you call her when you come out. I'm getting in the pool. So I got back in the pool, and there was no time. My daughter woke up and came in, and I was deep down in the pool, like trying to relax through like suddenly extremely intense contractions. So I was like trying to talk to her so she didn't freak out. And I was vocalizing a lot more than I ever have. And my mom woke up, I guess, around this time, and because she heard me talking to my daughter. So she came in and took her back to bed, and she was laying down with her, trying to get her to go back to sleep. And my water broke, and so I was vocalizing, and so then I like screamed out, my water broke. And my husband came running and on the phone, and it was like a constant contraction and needing to push until her shoulders were out. It was like constant. It was miserable. It was but yeah, so my husband was on the phone with the midwife, and he's like, yeah, her water broke and it's clear and there's a hen. I've got to go. When you get here, we'll have a baby. Then I got to breathe and relax for a few seconds after that. And my husband's like, push, because he wanted the baby out of the water. And I was like, I can't. So yeah, I had to push for her bottom half. And then he picked her up, and I was able to sit up and hold her. She was very blue. It took her a long time before she decided she should breathe. But she was fine. She was moving around, just really blue. She didn't want to nurse right away. I didn't really feel like pushing it on her like I did with my daughter. I wanted to see the breast crawl with my daughter, and when she came out, I just like popped her right on there. It's like, here, have a boob. So this time, we just kind of snuggled and tried to keep her warm. She also had a hard time keeping her body temperature up, which was fine. We got to snuggle. She's doing really well now. She only lost, I think, 5 ounces. It was like half of what they expect and consider normal. And we had her pediatrician appointment at 4 days, and she was back up only an ounce below her birth weight. So she's nursing very well. The kids really enjoy her. My daughter obviously is pretty young, and she thinks she should be able to hold her whenever she wants. And then she has this problem thinking, like, when she's done, she can just throw it down like a doll. So we have to, like, be there holding the baby with her. Well, obviously, she's really young, so we would do that anyway, but you have to be paying attention, because as soon as she's done, she's going to try and throw her. But she's very loving and tries to take care of her. We just have to keep an eye on it. She was covering her up the other day and covering her face. Yeah. So let's see if I can show you her. There she is. She's so cute. She's got dark hair. I don't think my other kids had dark hair. And lots of it. That was the first thing I noticed when she was born. Like when her head came out, I was like, oh, there's a lot of hair. So that's about it. I haven't lost much weight. I'm assuming I gained 40 pounds, since that's what I gained with my other 2, and it kind of looked like that's what I was going to gain this time. But I'd never weighed myself towards the end. I weighed myself the other day at night, so it wasn't incredibly, like, a regular, accurate, like, morning after you go to the bathroom before you eat type weigh. But I was only down like 17 pounds. And after gaining 40, that's pretty bad. Not really, I guess. But yeah. With my son, I think by the time I thought to weigh myself, I was down like 20 pounds. I've never made it back to my pre-pregnancy weight with him, though. But I'm determined, I don't know, to get at least to a healthy weight, or my idea of a healthy weight. I think the weight they expect people my size to be is a little ridiculous. I don't like to be skin and bones. My goal weight is what I consider like a happy weight. So that's my goal, is a happy weight, which I'm not like going to go crazy trying to get to right now, because I'm obviously nursing a baby. And I think part of why my other daughter is, I don't know, she weaned early, and I don't know, she was always she's still at the bottom of the charts. And I think I may have been focusing on getting down too much, but I started extremely heavy with her, so I really wanted to get back healthy so I could take care of my kids. This is probably ridiculously long, so goodbye.